Hey guys, Matt aka Martilm here, and welcome to another episode of Make a Track Monday, a series where I make a track from start to finish as part of Beat Collective's fortnightly challenge. This round's samples have been provided by sonic artist Belle Folie. As always, I'll link her social pages down in the description along with Beat Collective's. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so I've got an Ableton Live session open up here, as always, with the two samples already loaded in for this round. I'll just play them for you really quickly. They're pretty short, so this first one, they're both kind of like stringy, kind of pluck sounds. This one's kind of cool. I reckon I could probably do something with this. I'm thinking maybe some kind of like something beatsy if I like chop up these two sounds. I think that could be kind of cool. This one's very like ominous, and that one's a little bit more pretty. That strike just there. So I reckon I'm going to start this as I kind of normally do, by just slicing up one of these samples. I reckon I'm going to go with the first one, drag it onto a MIDI track, and slice it up within Simpler. And then when that's done, I will be back with you guys. So I have got a little bit of a something here. I did a little bit with the first sample, and then it kind of wasn't working for me, so then I went to the second sample and then added a bit of a drum beat. So I've kind of got this like lo-fi hip-hop kind of vibe going on. I'll play it for you. So I just played in this beat kind of quickly. It's pretty cool. I like it. And then underneath, I mean, we've got this as a second kind of option as well. Kind of like a bit of an interest. I'll just get rid of that because it didn't really work. But yeah, so we've got these two kind of options. I might like add a bass line or something, see what else I can add to this to make it a little bit more interesting, and I will be back with you guys. So I started kind of playing around, and I came up with this little bass line that's kind of funky and groovy, and I think I'm probably going to disregard these first two patterns that I came up with the samples, and then try and fit the samples around this new bass line because it's really funky, and I'm going to play it to you right now. I think it's really cool. I'm going to play around with something else with the samples now to try and get it to fit with this bass line as opposed to the bass line fitting with the samples. So it's a bit of a kind of mix mash. I started with the samples, moved to the bass line. Now I'm going to move from the bass line back to the samples, and we'll see what works and what doesn't. All right, I'll be back. So I've got a bit more of a groove going on, added some kind of chords and a bit of a kind of plucky sound out of the samples. The chords is kind of cheating a little bit, but it is out of the sample. I literally took this tiny bit and just looped it to tuned it and made it a chord sample. Yeah, like that. And then this plucky bit, you see the filter is kind of going crazy there. Put a Max for Live LFO MIDI tool on it. And then, yeah, just kind of did a bit of a choppy chop and made it, warped it with beats and preserved on 30-second notes, so you get this kind of skippy, plucky sound like this, which is really cool and adds nicely to this beat that we've got going on. Cool, I think it's going pretty well. Let's add some more things to it and I will be back. So in all honesty, I couldn't really come up with anything else. I was just like jamming along to the beat. What I did do is add another synth that's playing the same as the bass line. So I'll just show you that. I might add something here in these gaps, maybe just a little bit of a fill. But I think I'm just going to start arranging something and then see what comes to mind, if anything. And yeah, that might take a little bit, but I will be back. All right, so I've done a little bit of work here. Added a bit of an intro and some other stuff. As you can probably see, I've got almost 3 minutes worth of stuff here. But I'll just kind of show you what I've done, and then I'm gonna have to call it here for today because I've got some things I need to do. But so I've got this. Just took the pluck and just kind of filtered it in over the course of the intro, and then you'll hear here as well. Bit of a reverse thing going on. I just took a bit of the second sample and pretty much reversed it up until this kind of second transient just here. And then I've used just that second kind of transienty part as the reverse kind of cymbal thing throughout the whole thing. And then so it kind of starts with the chords and the drums without the hi-hats, and then brings in the bass. That bass filters in, and then everything kind of comes in along with the bass support or the melody. And then it comes in, it's layered a fifth on top of that as well. Just turn myself down there a little bit. And then I did a little bit of a piano kind of improvisation because it kind of felt like it was nice. It just got this kind of like heavy, funky thing, and then down into this piano, nice piano part. So this is kind of nice. I just improv'd a little bit on my on a piano sound on my Nord, and yeah, and then the pluck filters in like it does in the intro again towards the end of it. I don't know if I'd added this little kind of open hi-hat sound by last time, but yeah, there's this as well, just to kind of accent the first beat. I might end up re-recording this piano improv. I like most of it, but there are bits of it, like the end, that I think could be a bit better. You'll hear it. And then I'm thinking maybe if it just kind of jumps back in right there with like do you know, kind of something like that. I think that could be kind of cool. But unfortunately for today, that is all I've got time for. So I will see you guys when it's my tomorrow and it's your in like a few seconds time. All right, I'll be back. All right, I am back. Haha. So we have exactly where we left off last time. So what I'm actually going to do is re-record this piano part, and I'm going to record it for you guys in front of you. So let's get that. Alrighty, so I think we've got a nicer take there. I took a few, but I got there, and you would have heard that just then, and I'll just put it on the same channel that I had the piano on before. But so now what we're going to do is just finish off this little bit of an outro here. So I've kind of got the pluck extends over here, and then I reckon I'm going to bring in the bass and the bass support and all that kind of stuff again right here on bar 59 when Ableton. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I will be back with you guys. Okay, cool. So I've put this down a bit. Just added on this little part. It kind of works. I had thought it would sound a little bit different, but kind of works for the moment, so I'll just play it kind of going out of here. I've also added some like delay and saturation to the drum kit as transitionary stuff. Coffee. So like it kind of works, but I don't know. I want to make it. I want to think of some ways to make it bigger. So I'm going to add in a crash, and maybe like some extended out chords or something like that. So I'll figure something out, and I'll be back with you. I mean, look, it's pretty simple. I'm not sure really what to do about this last part. I mean, I could just leave it cut off with the piano, but I don't think so. I kind of want to reintroduce this thing again, because it's a cool little riff. But like, I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. But I think it's probably best to leave it like this. I just got a bit of a gut feeling that that's what I should do. Despite it not really sounding that big, full, whatever. It's kind of nice that it's a little bit minimal, I think. But yeah, maybe I could revisit this later on down the line. But I think for now, it's super basic. We could probably leave it as is. I can't really think of much else that I want to add to it. It's nice. It's simple. It's groovy. Yeah. So I might just give it a quick mix and then we'll go from there. Cool. So I've got a quick little nice short mix down here. I'll just play you a little bit and go through it. So I'll just play you kind of from here-ish. Oh yeah, quickly, I added this ambience thing as well. I just took the first sample and just stretched it out a fair bit and transposed it by 12 semitones down, added some ping pong delay and some reverb, and then Bob's your uncle, and you've got this awesome sound. Really, really nice and ominous, and adds really nice kind of texture to the intro, as well as to the piano break. Really cool. I also got rid of the 8th note hi-hats in the first section of the piano break, excuse me, which I think is nice. It gives it a bit more build, gives it a bit more lift towards the latter part of it. And yeah, so in terms of the mix down, just some basic kind of parallel compression on the drums, a bit of catch peaks, which is nice, multi-band, and a slight EQ as well. Nothing too crazy. Similar kind of thing on the synths, similar kind of thing on the bass, and just an EQ on the effects. And it sounded pretty nice, and I think I'll chuck it through a bit of a quick mastering chain, and then see if there's anything else I want to do with it, but probably there won't be. I don't want to spend too much more time on this track. It's cool, it's groovy, it's nice, but it's just a little bit of a side project. So, bit of a quick master, see if I want to do anything else with it, and then I will be back with you after that. Cool, so I've got a nice little bit of a master here. I will also show you quickly when Ableton decides to not freeze on me, which is probably just because I saved it. I also added, I think I might have added it before, but I probably didn't show you. I don't know, I've added and changed too many things in this, but for the second half of the last chorusy droppy thing, I also added another bass support that's playing a fifth above the octave up. So it sounds like this. You'll hear it, and you'll also hear the master. I think it sounds pretty cool. And the master sounds pretty good as well, I reckon. So I just got some basic kind of EQing. These guys can go bye-bye. EQing's barely even doing anything. It was kind of pretty well balanced already. Mono lows, which I've already showed you how to make in a previous video, but I might just do a quick little tips and trick video on how to make that. Making your own racks would be kind of a cool thing. Catch peaks preset, the glue compressor doing that trick I told you about a while ago as well. Multiband dynamics, and my trusty W1 limiter. Got my Spectrum and my stereo tool just to make sure everything's all good and groovy. And yeah, I think that this is sounding pretty nice. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, I think the track's done for the Beat Collective submission for round 22. I'll export it, and that will be it. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, the finished track will be available to listen to on Thursday as part of Beat Collective's Round 22 compilation. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you enjoy my content, consider heading over to and supporting me on Patreon, where I'll be putting the track I made in this video, along with my other Beat Collective submissions, up for download. There's a link down in the description. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Martiln, and I'll see you in the next video.